Hello guys and welcome back to my channel and for another week of what I have watched. Now, 3 apologies. The light's terrible because it's just dark at the minute here. It's mid-afternoon, but the light's terrible. I probably look really pale because I haven't been well and my throat's so the voice is a bit scratchy as well. But I'm determined to get this done. I don't want to build them all up again like I did a couple of weeks ago. So let's get kicked into what I watched last week. Okay, so we can see here the first one on the 22nd was Willow Creek. Now, I watched a review of Aaron from Screen Stars who was talking about this one. It's a found footage style, which is something I love. I know a lot of people aren't keen on found footage. I love it. So it's about a young couple who go in search of Bigfoot. He very much does believe in it. She very much doesn't. It's an okay movie. I do like how it ended. A lot of people probably would be quite frustrated. It is very real to life. It is like, a lot of people say watching found footage is like watching the camcorder holiday footage of someone they don't know. And this is, but I like that. Maybe I'm an intensely nosy person, but as close as it can get to reality, I like. So if you're a fan of found footage, I would recommend this one to you. If it's not your cup of tea and you like the better ones, I wouldn't recommend it. I think this is specifically for people that are into that type of thing. Do they find Bigfoot? Does Bigfoot exist? That you will have to watch the movie to find out. The next evening I watched a film called The Deeper You Dig. I think this one is on Netflix at the moment. So, love won't stay buried. In the aftermath of a roadside accident, the line between the living and the dead collapse for a mother and her daughter and a stranger. This is a really interesting little movie. It's quite slow paced. I think you would benefit, like Broadcast Signal Intrusion, I think you would really benefit from a second watch of this movie. I enjoyed it. I liked the acting. Again, it felt very real. It wasn't fast paced. A lot of people may want a lot more than what we get here, but this is the story about this young woman and her mother, or young teenager and her mother, become entangled in the life of this reclusive man because an accident happens. I can't really say any more without spoiling it, but this felt like something that really could happen, that wouldn't entirely be unusual to happen. It did have a really ominous, creepy feel to it. It did feel very realistic. I enjoyed it, but I do know it won't be for everyone. It's not your typical fast-paced. It does have little elements of horror, this movie, but in a realistic sense. So if you're a fan of movies, if you're a fan of, I say that, and you're all sitting watching this thinking, we're all fans of movies, but if you're fans of movies that are that little bit different, that aren't really commonplace knowledge, that maybe you don't get distracted that easily, you don't mind if a movie's a bit slow in places, I would recommend you check this out. You can see there are some scores. Now, Spooky Astronauts, who I love, she's 4 over there, the skull, and she's only give this 2 out of 5, so she clearly wasn't a big fan. There's Leon, he's given it a 3 out of 5, so he enjoyed it. So yeah, you can see some people there and what they've scored it. I scored it, I think, a 3. Yeah, so I scored it the same as Leon. I do think it's worth a watch. It's not the most amazing movie you'll ever see, but it is thought-provoking, so I would recommend. I have to keep cutting because I'm coughing, it's ridiculous. So on the 25th, I watched Tick Tick Boom. Now, this would not normally be my kind of film, I'll be honest. I watched this because everyone and their aunt is talking about it at the moment. I'm not a big musicals fan, I have said that before, but on the recommendation of Jonathan and Sean, that's Man of Movies, and Lost in the Real, I went to see In the Heights earlier in the year, and it still is my favourite movie of the year. It's a musical. So I thought, let's give this a go. So this is the story of a young theatre composer whose name escapes me. I do apologise. This guy is responsible for going on to write Rent. He's a struggling writer. He's becoming quite disillusioned. He's not getting any success. His friend has gone on to a very normal career and has given up on his dreams. His girlfriend has left and moved away, and life seems to be leaving him behind. He's stuck and he's not getting the success that he yearns for. And in situations where he thought he would be discovered, that simply is not happening. And it's his struggle with, should I give up on this dream or should I stick with it? And from people who know the individual that he's playing, apparently he does an absolutely amazing job in this. The songs are all really catchy. He's got a really good voice. If you like musicals, I think you will adore this. I did enjoy it. Now, I will admit I'm about a third of the way in and I'm considering switching it off because it's not grabbing me. I don't like... Some musicals, the songs sit really well in for me and in some they don't. But that's not the fault of the musical. That's me as a non-musical lover, if that makes sense. This one did pull me in. I went from wanting to switch it off to the story actually started to really grab me and I watched till the end. And I was really glad that I did, as I felt it did improve dramatically for me. I did think it was a fantastic performance. There are things that happen near in the end of the movie that do add a little bit more poignancy to the movie and a little bit more emotion for me. I won't go into any of those things. We do know obviously that eventually he does gain success because he goes on to write Rent. This movie isn't about him writing Rent, it's about another play that he writes or another musical. But I do think it's well worth a watch. Unless you hate musicals, then I probably would say avoid because it is very musical-esque sort of thing. Yeah, but what did I give that out of 5? I give it a 3.5, so I did enjoy it, but I'm not like... Let me show you the scores. There will be people on here. Austin Burke, a 4. There's Sean, Lost in the Rail, 4.5. So you can see those scores there. People absolutely are loving this. I fall just under those sort of scores because musicals just quite simply aren't my thing. So, a couple of nights later, right, so there's a gap of a couple of nights because I was watching the series Hellbound. It's a Korean series on Netflix. It's a horror series. Your time is up. Unearthly beings deliver bloody condemnation, sending individuals to hell and giving rise to a religious group founded on the idea of divine justice. That said it so much better than I ever could. Again, Korea has provided us with an absolutely awesome series off the back of Squid Game. We have Hell, but obviously not the same writer, but people have just finished watching Squid Game, so hopefully they may go over and try another Korean series. This, basically we get like an angel of death that comes to people and tells them you are going to die in 2 days and 3 hours from now. And this religious group grasps onto the concept that the reason these people are being given these condemnations is because they have sinned. And they're forming this just pretty dangerous religious fanatical group off the back of it. So we've got those two things going on at the same time. There are little twists in here as well. I was left with a lot of questions at the end. Certain things that I wanted to have explained to me weren't. But that will not affect my enjoyment of a movie or a series. I did really enjoy it and I would thoroughly recommend it to you. So that's Hellbound on Netflix at the moment. Okay, and if my position's moved, my camera just fell, so... And apologies if the picture's not that good. The picture's much better on my iPhone, but it's a pain in the arse. Does anyone else find getting their video from their iPhone onto their PC is just a nightmare? I mean, how long does it take iCloud to actually upload stuff? It's ridiculous. Or is that just me? What happened to the days when we could just plug our phone into the laptop and pull everything across? iCloud is a bloody nightmare for me anyway. So, three different things I finished this day. This was the day I went to see Encanto at the cinema. Oh my goodness, I cried all the way through this movie. This is the story about a family. Should I read this? I'll read this, it's better than me. There is a little magic in all of us, almost all of us. The tale of an extraordinary family, the Madrigals, who live hidden in the mountains of Colombia in a magical house in a vibrant town in a wondrous, charmed place called an Encanto. The magic of the Encanto has blessed every child in the family with the unique gift from super strength to the power to heal every child except one, Mirabal. But when she discovers that the magic surrounding the Encanto is in danger, Mirabal decides that she, the only Madrigal, might just be her exceptional family's last hope. I cannot tell you how much I love this. This girl, oh my god, I mean, obviously magic's not a real thing, or is it? Oh my goodness, how I related to this young girl, and obviously not in the sense of not having a magical gift, but a lot of other things in this about her I related so much to. The sense of disappointment her grandmother had, that she wasn't like the rest, and it's ridiculous. I'm not even going to go into my family history because that's ridiculous, but a specific night in these families' lives, the children, the really young children, are granted a gift and we don't know what it's going to be. One little boy can talk to animals, a girl's super strong, another girl is just perfect in every way and she creates flowers everywhere she goes. But this young girl, Mirabelle, on the night of her supposed being granted her wish, doesn't get one. And she basically lives the rest of her life and is never felt or deemed as good as the rest of the family. And that actual character, she's so adorable, and I can't even tell you how much I love this movie. The music, the songs are really catchy, it looks divine. Coco has been my favourite animation for a long time. Before that it was Toy Story. I love the Toy Story films. I cried like a baby at Toy Story 3. Coco just was the only thing that got close to Toy Story for me personally, and then this came along. And I struggle. I still love Coco so much, but I think I might actually like this a little bit more. If you're an animation fan, go check this out. Do go see this. It was magical. I absolutely adored it. I gave it a 5 out of 5, guys. What more can I say? Beautiful. That evening I watched, yes guys, I watched, and I will be doing another video after this, I watched Spirited Away. So a young girl, Chihiro, becomes trapped in a strange new world of spirits. When her parents undergo a mysterious transformation, she must call upon the courage she never knew she had to free her family. I won't go into detail because I am going to do a separate review on this. With, you know, the thing we did with the 10 movies I haven't seen that are really popular, I decided to actually watch all my list and review them all individually. This was the first one. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Yes, it is a very special movie. It is absolutely beautiful to look at. I just feel I need to watch it more times. I feel there's a lot that passed me by that the first time. I don't watch anime. That's not a conscious decision. It's just not something I've ever really been, you know, not open to, but subjected to. Subjected is the wrong word as well. Exposed to, that's a better word. But in the movie community, so many people are just ranting and raving about anime, and I'm thinking I'm obviously missing something here. So I wanted this to be the first one I watched because it's so highly, you know, regarded. But as I'm watching it, I know I'm missing so much stuff because there's so much going on at the same time, and it does have that real mood and feel, if you're not used to it, of you sitting in perpetual confusion as to what exactly is happening. And I do think when you get the style and rewatch, you get a lot more from it. In saying that, I do know it's a very special movie, and I did enjoy it. I'm not going to talk anymore because I want to do a review about it. So 4.5 out of 5 for Spirited Away. On the 28th, I watched this with my son. He is a big fan of both Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds. Obviously Deadpool. He saw the child version of Deadpool, in case you think, what a terrible mother. No, I did not let him watch Deadpool. I do draw the line somewhere. And obviously we have Gal Gadot as well, which to a young boy, I'm sure he was thinking all sorts of things as he was watching this movie. Now, I've heard this isn't very good. I really enjoyed this. I'm trying to review films not holding one movie up against the other, like not holding Spirited Away up against this, because obviously they're two very different movies. I'm trying to review movies based on what kind of movie they are. So I'm trying to review this as like an action comedy and give it a score along that line. I liked it. I liked all the characters. I found the plot really engaging. It was easy to watch. It was easy to follow. The action scenes where they were placed were very well done. There weren't too many, which does my head in. There's little funny bits you're sort of looking at it, seeing similarities to other things, and there's a bit where you're thinking this is very Indiana Jones, and Ryan Reynolds is walking down the stairs whistling the theme of Indiana Jones, which has obviously amused me a great deal. There's one scene in this, if you've seen it, Isaac could not understand why I was creased up. It took me a long time to stop laughing. There's a scene in this with a hairnet, and it's just a really quick scene, and it was just hilarious. I loved it. Nothing happens. But I'll tell you what it is. It just cuts to a scene of Ryan Reynolds and The Rock stood beside each other, and The Rock's wearing a hairnet, and it's put on at such a weird angle. The Rock is wearing a hairnet. He's got no hair. It cracked me. Why are you laughing, Mum? Why is that funny? What are you laughing at? Why are you still laughing? Amused me. So I would recommend this. This is basically about, I never even told you what it was about. Ryan Reynolds is a very successful art thief, as is Gal Gadot. The Rock is a FBI investigator. They are trying to get, there's these 3 eggs, one of them, I think the missing one's a Cleopatra's egg. They're trying to get all 3 to give to this very rich businessman He wants to gift his daughter these 3 eggs on her wedding. But basically no art thief in the world has ever been able to get all 3. So this is a story about the attempts of various people to foil other people to get these eggs. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Okay, we're getting there, folks. On the same evening I watched, I've been wanting to see this for a while, Reminiscence. This is Hugh Jackman's movie. And you see, I'm trying really hard not to say Wolverine and the girl out of The Last Showman. Let me go down. Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson. So, I'll try and read this because me trying to explain this. Nicholas Bannister, a rugged and solitary veteran living in a near-future Miami flooded by rising seas, is an expert in a dangerous occupation. He offers clients the chance to relive any memory they desire. His life changes when he meets a mysterious young woman named May. What becomes a simple matter of lost and found becomes a passionate love affair. But when a different client's memories implicate May in a series of violent crimes, Bannister must delve through the dark world of the past to discover the truth about the woman he fell for. That sums the entire movie up, and I've heard a lot of people say this is really dull. I really enjoyed this. I really do like Hugh Jackman as an actor. I found him really engaging. Rebecca Ferguson has just this real effortless beauty about her, vulnerability. I think she is I love her as an actress. I love her portrayals. I always fall for whatever character she plays. Tandy Newton's also in this as Bannister's assistant, and she's excellent in this also. I don't want to tell you aspects of her personality, it would give spoilers, but I would thoroughly recommend this if you can sit down and watch a story and get to know the characters and have the same like questioning what's going on, who is she, what's she done, why that the character here has, which is, you know, what you want to have. And the whole way through I'm like asking all these questions along with this character. But why has she done this? Who is she? Why is she there? Who's this woman? And he sets off in his life to try and find who she is. Do recommend. 3.5 out of 5. So I think the 29th, right, I will stop there because those two, which you can see, are both Monday evening. So that will fall into next week. So that's a sneak peek at 2 movies I watched this week. Let's close that down. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. I'm watching little bits of true crime here and there, trying to find a new series that's grabbing me. There's a couple on Netflix I've started and they really haven't grabbed me at the moment. I may give them a bit more time. But that is all I've watched at the moment, folks. Let me know what you think of any of the movies on my list. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. Say of Reminiscence, for instance, because I know it's getting really bashed for being dull. I didn't feel it was at all. And thank you so much for watching as always. I look forward to speaking to you guys next week in another What I Watched. Over and out from Lisa Lives.